Om Gurur-Brahma Gurur-Vishnu Gurur-Devo Maheshwaraha Gurus-Sakshat Param Brahma Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Om. Dear friends, we have to start this 25th shloka. Earlier, Lord Krishna was saying, after giving his own example, Krishna was saying that if he were not to do karma, if Krishna were to abandon karma, all the lokas would perish, all the worlds would perish, because he was supposed to set a proper example to all the lokas, and then all other people would follow. And then if only he does his dharma properly, all other people also will follow dharma. If he does not follow dharma, all other people also will not follow dharma. So that way the worlds will collapse. So that is what he said in the earlier shloka. Then he is continuing in the same manner. Now in this shloka he is telling about how a wise man has to get engaged in action. For a wise man, there is no compulsion that he has to get engaged in action. But for a wise man, suppose he is a king, we have got this concept of this philosopher king. A philosopher is one who has totally renounced, and then who has totally renounced all the actions, and then who has gone into the forests and all that, and then who lives by begging, and then who lives beyond this varna, ashrama, etc., etc. And then his only duty is to spread knowledge. He goes, and then wherever he, incidentally, that also it is not his duty, incidentally, say suppose some sadhu comes to your house, you give some food to him, and then you ask some questions, he will dispel your doubts. So that way he will be spreading knowledge. So that is the duty of a sannyasi, by living by bhikshatanam, etc. But here suppose you talk about a king. A king also, there is no bar that a king should not be a jnani. There is no bar that a businessman should not be a jnani. So this king, he cannot give up his kingly duties. So this is a sort of prarabdha karma for him. As long as he lives, he has to do this thing. So that is why for such a man, how is he supposed to do work? How is he supposed to go about? Because an ajnani also is doing work. A jnani also is doing work. Outwardly they are both same. An ajnani, say for example somebody who is performing some yajna, etc., and all these kamya karma, we know what is kamya karma, all these desire driven actions. A person who is doing all these kamya karmas, and then he wants a lot of punyam, etc., etc. Then there is a karma yogi. Karma yogi, he is performing all these things, but he doesn't want punya. He is doing it for the sake of society. Then there is a jnani. So he also performs actions. But what is the difference between karma yogi and jnani? Between an ordinary man and karma yogi, there is a difference. An ordinary man, he wants the fruit for himself. He wants that punyam, etc. Karma yogi, he doesn't want the fruit for himself. Whereas he is having that notion of I, kartrutva bhavana is there. He has not gone beyond that notion of I. Whereas in the case of a jnani, that kartrutva bhavana also is not there. That kartrutva bhavana and also bhoktrutva bhavana, both are not there. He neither wants the phalam, nor is he having that notion of I. He is in his perfect state of union with that Supreme. He is in that perfect state of awareness that he is nothing different from that Supreme. So in that state, he is performing action. So that is what he is saying in this particular shloka. So sakta karmanya vidvamso yatha kurvanti bharata kuryad vidvans tatha saktaha chikirshur loka sangraham. This is one of the most beautiful shlokas, quite often quoted by Sringeri, the present Sringeri Shankaracharya. In several meetings he has quoted this, I have heard him. So I repeat, sakta karmanya vidvamso yatha kurvanti bharata kuryad vidvans tatha saktaha chikirshur loka sangraham. So overall meaning I said, I'll tell. The meaning is like this: just as an unwise man gets engaged in action with the desire, with the interest of that, keeping in mind the fruit of that action, just as in the same enthusiastic way, a wise man also should do action, but keeping in mind loka sangraha. Keeping in mind loka sangraha, that is keeping in mind the welfare of the society, one has to do action, a wise man has to do action. That is what he says. Kuryad vidvans tatha asaktah. So that is the difference. So we saw three levels. One is an unwise man seeking fruit, an unwise man not seeking fruit, a wise man who is aware of his union with the Supreme, and naturally he will not seek fruit, but he is still doing action for the sake of welfare, for the sake of social welfare, for the well-being of society. So there are three types of people. Outwardly they are same, but inwardly their attitude is different. So that is the point here. So let us see the words here. Saktaha karmani plus avidvamsaha. Saktaha karmani avidvamsaha karmani avidvamsaha yatha kurvanti bharata kuryad vidvans tatha saktah. Kuryat plus vidvan plus tatha. Vidvan plus tatha becomes vidvans tatha. Tatha asaktah. There is an avagraha there. Tatha sakta. There is an avagraha. Tatha saktah. Shikirshuhu. Saktaha plus shikirshuhu. We have to split it there. Saktas shikirshur lokasangraham. The whole sentence is in one say samasa. Not samasa, it is all clubbed. Kuryad vidvans tatha saktas shikirshur lokasangraham. The whole thing is combined, because in Sanskrit all these visargas they just combine. So unless we break, we will not be knowing. Kuryat plus vidvan plus tatha plus asaktah plus shikirshuhu plus lokasangraham. Shikirshur lokasangraham. Shikirshuhu plus lokasangraham becomes shikirshur lokasangraham. So when all these sandhi means the joint. Sandhi, actually all these things they join because of this euphonic change. So because of that, huge sandhi has formed here. Kuryad vidvans tatha saktas shikirshur lokasangraham. It will be a terrible thing for somebody who doesn't know Sanskrit. So anyway, so let us see the words here. So here, what is the first sentence? Yatha. Yatha means just as. So the first sentence, or first line rather, what are the words? Bharata. Hey Bharata. Address. Oh Arjuna. That is the address. What is the meaning of Bharata? Bha means light, brilliance, kanti. Bharata. Bhayam ratihi yasya. Bha is a feminine word. Bhayam, Ramayam, like Ramayam. Bhayam ratihi yasya sa Bharatah. Rati means interest, keenness. That is rati. Ramadhatu. Bhayam ratihi yasya saha bharatah. That is one who has desire for knowledge, one who has keenness in pursuit, one who is in the pursuit of knowledge. He is Bharata. In fact, our country is called Bharata, and we are supposed to be the people who are interested in knowledge. So that is the meaning of Bharata. So, hey Bharata. Then what is the verb here? Kurvanti. Kurvanti means people do, they do, te kurvanti, bahuvachana. This is this third person plural, kurvanti. Te kurvanti. Ke, who are they? Who are they? Avidvamsaha. Avidvamsaha karma kurvanti. Then katham kurvanti? Karmani saktaha. Karmani saktaha means totally seeking having attachment for that karma. Karma phala. Karmani saktaha means having attachment for the karma phala. Then yatha te kurvanti, just as they do. So this is a part of the sentence. Yatha avidvamsaha. Avidvamsaha means vidvan, vidvamsav, vidvamsaha. Avidvamsa is an unwise man. Vidwan is a wise man. Avidvan is a unwise man. Avidvamsaha yatha karmani saktas santaha. Karmani saktaha karma kurvanti. Karmani means here karma phale. Karma phale saktaha. Karma phale asaktaha. Those who have interest in this karma phala. Yatha te kurvanti. Yatha te kurvanti tatha tvamapi kuru. You see the broad sentence. Yatha te kurvanti tatha tvamapi kuru. Yatha tatha. Just as, likewise. Just as they do, likewise you do. Just as they do, likewise you do. Yatha te kurvanti tatha tvamapi kuru. So tatha. Then tvamapi. You hear tatha. Next line you see tatha is there. Tatha likewise. Then vidvan. Vidvan in contrast to that avidvamsaha. in contrast to that avidvamsaha, and this vidwan, a wise person, then lokasangraham chikirshuhu. Lokasangraham chikirshuhu karma kuryat. Then katham kuryat? Asaktaha kuryat. Asaktaha means not having attachment to the fruit of that action. Not desiring the fruit of action. Not having that phalabhisandhi. Lokasangraham chikirshuhu, that is desiring this lokasangraham. Chikirsha is one word. That is, kartum ichha is chikirsha. This pratyaya is called san pratyaya. Kartum ichha chikirsha. Gantum ichha jigamisha. Patum ichha pipasa. Jnatum ichha jignasa. Patum means to drink. Patum ichha pipasa. That is ichha. Wherever that desire is shown, that is called sampratyaya. So for any dhatu, you indicate that desire to drink, desire to go, desire to eat, desire to sleep. So like that. So that is jigamisha, gantumicha, bhoktumicha, bubhusha, bhubuksha. So like that. So chikirsha means kartumicha. Kim kartumicha? Lokasangraham kartumicha. Lokasangraham kartumicha. Ichham manasi nidhaya. That is keeping that in mind. So that is the meaning here. Lokasangraham kartumicha. That is chikirsha. Chikirshuhu means one who has that desire is chikirshuhu. One who has the desire to do. One who has the desire to do is chikirshuhu. Jignasa means desire to know. One who has that desire is jignasuhu. So like that. Jignasa, jignasuhu. Pipasa, pipasuhu. Bhubuksha, bhubukshuhu. Bhubukshuhu means one who has desire to eat. So that is bhubukshuhu. So chikirshuhu, then lokasangraham chikirshuhu, vidwan asaktaha kuryat. Kuryat means he has to do. That is vidhiling. Kuru dhatu, kuryat. So that is chikirshuhu. So saha kuryat. Kim kuryat? Karma kuryat. Katham asaktaha san kuryat. Then kimartham kuryat? Lokasangraham chikirshuhu karma kuryat. So that is the overall connection. So just as an unwise man, just as unwise people, avidvamsaha is in plural, just as unwise people perform action or engage themselves in action, say seeking the fruit of that action, in the same spirit of enthusiasm, a vidwan has to perform action asaktaha, not seeking the fruit of that action, but keeping in mind the welfare of the society, welfare of humanity. So that is what is the overall shloka. Here grammatically there are nothing, no other thing. So we have seen two types of people. Outward action is same, but their attitude is different. Not two types, actually three types of people we have seen. Then the next shloka we will let us see. Next shloka also talks about how a jnani has to do, with what type of attitude a jnani has to perform actions, and then how he has to also allow people to do in their own, to do action in their own manner, in the sense that there are so many levels of people in the society. Somebody, okay, suppose there is a festival. In some festival, all the women, they go and then take milk and then say offer to snakes. And then say there is some other festival on which all the women, they go and then take around, do circumambulation around maybe a tree, or it may be some other god or goddess. So they will be doing that. So all this, the jnani should not go and confuse them. Jnani should not go and tell them Vedanta, you are Brahma Swarupa, why are you doing all this? So if you tell them, suppose a simple person having some belief. So that person's simple belief is that, okay, if I do this, if I do namaskara to this, I will be happy. And he is happy with that. Once he is happy with that, okay, after that, if there is a jignasa in him, that is a desire to upgrade himself, then you teach. If there is no desire to upgrade, and if the fellow is happy, let him be happy, don't confuse. If he is able to reach to your level, take him. If he is unable to take to your level, don't confuse him. So that is what is the next shloka. This is again, I like this shloka very much, because people very often, some of these Vedanta teachers also, they make a mistake of condemning all pujas and then going to temples, etc., etc. So we should not condemn people who go to temples. So Vedanta may not recommend that you have to go to a temple. But then Vedanta says, don't confuse those people. You also go to a temple, not on some festival day pushing away all other people and all that. You go at your own leisure, you worship and all that. But let all other people also go, don't confuse them. So that is what is the meaning. Because some of the Vedanta teachers, they say, no, all this karma is irrelevant, don't go to temples. So all these rituals are meaningless. So that also we should not say. So I will read this shloka. Na buddhi bhedam janayed ajnanam karma sanginam joshayet sarva karmani vidwan yuktas samacharan. So I repeat. Na buddhi bhedam janayed ajnanam karma sanginam joshayet sarva karmani vidwan yuktas samacharan. So let us see the overall meaning is this. That is karma sanginam, of those who are interested in karma. You should not create any sort of confusion in their mind. It is very clear. Then on the other hand, you allow them to work, you encourage them, you pat them on the back. Joshayet, Josh, Hindi word, you know that Josh dena, that is encourage, pat him on the back. Joshayet sarva karmani, okay, you do this puja, you do this worship, all that you do that. Then at the same time, vidwan yuktas samacharan, you be in the proper frame of mind. That man, he is in a totally different frame of mind. You are doing the same action with another frame of mind, with a highly enlightened frame of mind, let us say. Your approach to work is enlightened, whereas that man's approach is totally unenlightened. So that is the point here. So let us see the words here. Na buddhi bhedam. Buddhi bhedam is one word, that is samasa. Buddhehe bhedam. Bhid dhatu means to break. Bhidyate. Bhidyate hridaya grandhihi, they say. Bhidyate. Bhid means to break. Then buddhi bhedam means breaking his buddhi. That is confusing him. Whatever belief he is having, you are destroying his belief, and you are not giving any enlightenment. You are only confusing him and making him an astika. Like our movies, which all our stupid movies. For example, right now I am told there is a stupid movie which is going on, which is ridiculing religious beliefs. So you are ridiculing religious beliefs and you are not offering anything great. Unless you are offering something specific, something meaningful, you are turning all the people as nastikas. Nastika means somebody whose belief erodes, and then he doesn't have any proper model before him. So right now I am told there is one movie which is supposed to be quite popular. So anyway, na buddhi bhedam janayet, ajnana janayet plus ajnanam, janayet ajnanam, karma sanginam. Karma sangi is one word. Karmani sangaha yasya saha karma sangi. Karma sangi. Karmani sangaha yasya sa karma sangi. Karma sanginam, like guni. Karma sangi, like gunin shabda, guni gunino guninaha. Gudinaha gudinoh guninam. So like that, karma sangi, sanginoha sanginam. Karma sanginam of those people. Then joshayet sarva karmani. Sarva karmani is again samasa. Sarva karmani, all karmas. Vidwan plus yuktaha plus samacharan. So these are the words. Let us see the first line. In this first line, what is the verb? Janayet. Janayet means should not create, should not cause. Jana dhatu, jana, to create. Janayet means janayet is of course is linked with na janayet. That means should not be created, should not be caused. What should not be caused? Buddhi bhedam should not be caused. Buddhi bhedam means breaking their brain. Don't eat their brain, don't break their belief, don't break their belief they are having. Buddhi bhedam na janayet. Of whom? Karma sanginam. Karmani sangaha yasya saha. those who are interested in this karma, those who are interested in action, those who are interested in the fruit of that action, karma sanginam buddhi bhedam na janayet. We should not create any such thing. Then what else? What, on the other hand, what are you supposed to do? Sarva karmani joshayet. Joshayet is the verb in the second part of the line. This is the two parts of the line. Say karma ajnanam karma sanginam buddhi bhedam na janayet. One sentence. That is, don't confuse the people who are engaged in some action. Karma sanginam buddhehe bhedam. Buddhi bhedam is buddhehe bhedam. Buddhehe chalanam. Shaking their faith. Don't do. Na janayet. Then on the other hand, kim karaniyam? Vidwan sarva karmani joshayet. Joshayet. He has to encourage, he has to allow, he has to joshayet. What is the meaning given say by others? Joshayet. Say should engage, okay, should allow. Karayet. Joshayet is karayet. Shankaracharya says karayet. That is, you allow them to do. Joshayet. Sarva karmani. Katham karayet. Yuktaha san karayet. Yuktaha. Yoga is yoga plus kta. Yuja plus kta becomes yukta. Yoga we know. Yoga means that awareness of self in this particular context, in the context of a jnani. Yoga means awareness of this unity, his unity with Brahman, supreme reality is yoga. Yuktaha means a person who is in that stability, who is in that frame of mind. That is yuktaha. Yuktaha samacharan. Samyak plus acharan. Samacharan. Sam plus acharan. That is again acharan, gachan, piban, jighran. All these things, they are called shatru pratyaya. Shatru pratyaya gachan. While going. Piban, while drinking. Acharan, while performing. So samacharan. Sam plus acharan, samacharan. While performing actions in a proper manner, while he himself is performing actions in a very, very proper manner, he should also allow others to say perform in their own manner. You perform actions with a wise frame of mind. Other people are performing actions with an unwise frame of mind. You also do Satyanarayana Vratam, they also do Satyanarayana Vratam. So this Satyanarayana Vratam for you is a sort of nididhyasanam. Satyanarayana Vratam for you, say an enlightened person, you are seeing what is that Satya, Satyam Jnanam Anantam Brahma, that ultimate reality. You are thinking in that, you are at that level. Say the giver is Satyanarayana, the taker is Satyanarayana. That shloka, they are at the end of the Vratam, there will be shlokas. When you are giving something, the giver also is God and you are also God, everything is Brahma. So that meaning, some such meaning will be there. Ganesho pratigruhnati, Ganesho vai dadadicha. So like that. So in that manner, he is in a different frame of mind. But for an ordinary man, he is thinking, oh, I am sitting here, I am performing Vratam of Satyanarayana, Satyanarayana Swami will come and then he will bestow some boons on me, my son will be happy, my daughter will be happy and all those things, that man will be thinking. So you allow him to do. So don't say, no, it's not, all that is nonsense. You have to think that you are that Brahma, Aham Brahmasmi, etc. You have to do in that Aham Brahmasmi frame of mind. He is not mature for that. So if at all he develops some jignasa, then you tell. So that is what it says. That does not mean that you should not teach philosophy. You have to keep philosophy to yourself. But you have to see whether the person is in a position to receive. So it is something like a transmission and receiving station. So that receiving station should also be having that appropriate signal strength and whatnot. It should also be having that receptive ability. So if the other fellow is having that receptive ability only, then only you teach. Don't teach Vedanta to each and every fellow. So that is what it says. And simply you don't create confusion by say ridiculing religion. Right now there is one film, as I said, which is ridiculing all religious beliefs. So you are what is it you are doing? You are having some other agenda to promote some other religion. So that is all. By ridiculing, suppose Lord Shiva, you are trying to promote some other religion. What is it you are doing? So that is what is here. So Jnani has to do the same karma for the sake of Loka Sangraha. Otherwise, an Ajnani may even stop karma and then he will be the loser and there will be a disorder in society. An ajnani will stop doing karma, there will be disorder in society. So that is the say meaning here. Then so for somebody who is doing the such karma, you can teach nishkama karma slowly, in a slow manner. There is what is called a gradation. So in that gradation, you teach him nishkama karma slowly. Okay, you are desiring the fruit of action. You try this nishkama karma path, this karma yoga, because this is what Vedanta says. There is something what is called karma phala. Karma phala is binding, etc., etc. And then slowly lead him to chitta shuddhi. And after leading to chitta shuddhi, then say you, if there is a jignasa in him, then you start teaching some Vedanta. So that is the overall meaning of this shloka. So that is why, as I was saying the other day, one of the faults, one of the defects for a king is that a king should not be an astika. A king should not be an atheist. That is one of the Raja doshas. Raja dosha means it is one of the primary defects of a king. He is unfit. Disqualification rather. Yeah, primary Raja dosha means disqualifications for a king. He should not be an astika. So we will continue next.